Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with a new Viking Orations. Got yet another review for you today. And this time around, I'm going to talk to you about one of my most anticipated releases, and that is the brand new EP from the band Diabolic Oath, entitled Unholy Barbaric Hymns, out now through Sentient Ruin Laboratories. And if you're not familiar with Diabolic Oath, they are a black slash death metal band from the Portland, Oregon area. Been around since 2017, featuring Chthonic and Cursor, Ominous Void, and The Temple. And as you notice, I did not tell you what these guys play, because even though they technically tell you what they play in the booklet, I can't seem to figure it out. And it's kind of always been a mystery who does what. But yeah, this is the band's second EP. It is 4 tracks and just a little under 23 minutes in length. And, you know, again, this is another one of those bands that I have just been a huge fan of ever since discovering their 2018 demo. And pretty much with each subsequent release, they've just kind of really honed their chaotic version of black and death metal. When this EP was announced, I couldn't wait to just dive into this thing. And honestly, after spending quite a bit of time with it, I was not let down once again. After the sounds of some, very eerie sounding winds greeting you as you're about to enter this sonic maelstrom that awaits you, this sinister tremolo riff comes in, and just, the blast beats soon start right after that, and we are off to the races, as they say. The drums on here have a very organic sounding production to them, I think. I especially love the snare sound on this EP. In addition to lots of blast beats and double bass, you get some really cool fills, some really nice cymbal work here and there. At times, the blast beats do kind of sound a little off time a little bit, kind of like, they're about to finally lose control of everything and all this chaos that's going on before they finally rein everything back in and get back into the rhythm. Track number 2, Radiant Mars, Reveal the Spear of War. I just love that kind of metallic anvil sounding effect that they do to the snare at the beginning of that song. It just makes it sound so much heavier, and just kind of really, it sounds like he's just, it hits harder. Not only the sound, but it just sounds like he's just really hitting it with all that he has. Track number 3, Within the Jaws of Lecherous Fire. There's a really cool little kind of tribal-esque drum section at about the 3:32 mark with this kind of really creepy layered vocal effect that's over the top. And then at 4:42, he does this, a couple of these quick drum rolls before everything cuts out, and you're left with just the sound of fire to close out the track. So it's like you're just burning from, like they just kicked your ass so much that you finally just spontaneously combusted or whatever. I mean, it's just so cool. It's just one of the coolest moments on this entire EP. The bass on here, I think, kind of has that Steve DiGiorgio feel to it, not only in the tone of the bass, but just the way it's played. It's not too that far up in the mix, but yet you can still hear throughout this entire entire thing. I think, honestly, it kind of sits at just the right level, and all the chaos that is going on between the guitar work and the drums and everything else. I think it's right at the right level that it needs to be. But like I said, it's easily heard throughout this thing, providing just a huge back end to all of these songs. The guitars on here, just this maelstrom of heavy chugs, sinister sounding tremolos, and then you got these kind of very incantation-esque sounding grooves. And at times, they can have these kind of like, ominous, dissonant sounding riffs to it as well. And, much like the drums, there's times that the guitars kind of stagger a little bit, like they're kind of, again, about to lose control, and, the chaos is finally just about to go completely apeshit, and then finally, they just rein it back in, and they pretty much show why they are the ones in control of the oral savagery that is, or should I say the auditory savagery that is going on and that we are witnessing. Going back to track number 2, I'm not going to say that title again because it is a mouthful. It has this absolutely evil sounding heavy ass groove at about a little over 2 minutes into that song that just really gets your head banging. So even throughout this entire maelstrom of guitar work, there's so many moments where you just gotta start banging your head, and if you don't, then there's got to be something wrong with you. I think the vocals in this band have definitely gotten better and stronger over time as each member provides vocals. I do believe pretty much every member does provide vocals, that I do know. And honestly, I think they've all really kind of honed their style style really well with each release. You get these Pete Helmkampish snarls, these just sinister screams, and then you get these kind of mid to low range growls, all with this kind of cavernous effect put on them that really adds to the overall, I think, ominous and just sinister atmosphere of this entire EP. Once again, going back to track number 2, there's just this really cool kind of Gregorian style choir vocal that comes in about 5 minutes and 18 seconds into that song to kind of help close out the song. And really, in my opinion, I think, again, that kind of thing really amplifies that, sinister, ominous, ritualistic feel that this band has to their overall sound. Overall, I just think this is an absolute banger of an EP. It is just 4 tracks of completely controlled chaos. Like I said, it sounds out of control, but these guys show that they are completely in control of what they're doing. They are the masters of their craft that they are making. This has this sinister, esoteric, atmosphere to it, and it just absolutely whoops your ass and gets you hooked. So you're pretty much like a glutton for punishment. You keep returning to yourself, you keep returning and plunging yourself into the maelstrom, and you just lose yourself once again in the incantations that this band has put forth. Solid 9 out of 10 on this. Go check this out. This is definitely one of my favorite EPs of the year. So yeah, I will be leaving a link down below so you can check it out for yourself. Pick up a copy. And yeah, that is going to do it. 9 out of 10 from me. Go check out Diabolic Oath. Yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.